Hello traders, today is Monday, August 26, 2024. I'm gonna go over 14 names. It seems like my watch list keeps growing and I'm having a little bit of a hard time, I guess, picking what I wanna go over, considering that there's a lot of very good setups and warning signs. Anyways, this is not financial advice. Please make sure to do your due diligence before you invest your capital on any equities or any type of investment. This content is for educational purposes or entertaining purposes, however you want to see it. Anyways, we're going to start with Apple. And the reason why I would want to mention Apple is because the behavior that the stock had today during the trading day. I did day trade Apple. It was a little bit nerve-wracking, but you know, Apple is one of those names that I'm very familiar with, and I do like day trading. If it's probably one of the stocks that I day trade the most, if I day trade at all. Anyways, so I did have a position, a swing from last Friday that was actually green, but after opening today, it went red. And when we were somewhere in this area after rebounding here, I took a few more calls, and it continued going down. But then I think my repositioning was somewhere around here. It was higher, closer to this level right here. So yeah, it continued going down, and then it actually came back throughout the day. I got out of this position somewhere around this area right here, I believe around 9:30 or so, because I had stuff to do and I didn't want to hang with this for the rest of the day. I just didn't want to be stressed out, but little that I knew, this was going to continue going up. My position, by the way, I got out at around 15% green. So it wasn't bad at all. And I think what saved my ass on this position was that I got some calls right on this area. And I was green when I was here. And then this push up, towards 226 pretty much made my position look better. Anyways, this continued going up. And what I liked about Apple today, it was red to green day. It actually finished the day with a lot of momentum and a pretty decent amount of volume at the end of the day. After hours is minus 40%, but normally the after hour market doesn't concern me very much. I would be more worried if the pre-market time is actually more bearish, but at least for now, that's what I did with Apple. On the daily chart is looking like it's just ranging here, kind of like surfing over the 35 SMA and this level at 225. I do believe there is a little bit of momentum. This might continue going up. Apple looks very strong, even though the market in general is looking a little bit weak. In my opinion, the market is looking weak. Anyways, this is your resistance level, 225. You might bounce here, and if it breaks down, then my next resistance level would be that 35 SMA. That's what I have for Apple. It was I wouldn't say fun trade, but I had to do a little bit of damage control in order to get out of this position on a positive note on green. Anyways, let's move on to a name I mentioned yesterday, and I think I'm going to mention this a few more times this week, which is AMD. And it is behaving the way I was kind of predicting yesterday. However, it broke resistance or support, I'm sorry, at 151. What I said yesterday is that you can probably see a move down, or let me rephrase this. If you didn't rebound on this area or retest this support area and go back up, then you're going to see a continuation towards a lower price. I don't have a price target right here. I wouldn't say 134, but we'll see. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised like if AMD doesn't really deliver the earnings that everybody are expecting, we could possibly go to 134. But for now, I would keep this area right here, which is 144 as my next support level. I'm not gonna mark it on my chart, but and the reason is because I don't have an intention to get back on AMD in the next few days, so I don't have to add any levels. I think if you break 144, 134 is definitely in the horizon. MACD and TSI are looking a little bit weak. They might continue going down. The RSI is also pointing down towards the signal line, so we'll see what happens here. Volume is not bad at all. If you go back to the 1 minute chart, AMD had a pretty decent start and then it completely collapsed. I don't know if there were news or something like that. I don't trade based on news for the most part, but something happened in this area that really tanked the stock, and then it tried to go back to resistance and it couldn't actually recover. We'll see what we see tomorrow, but don't be surprised if you continue going down towards 144. That's it for AMD, and let's move on to Amazon, which I mentioned as well yesterday. Amazon is behaving very similarly to AMD. I do believe that you either gonna rebound or retest this level, which looks like it's what it's trying to do, and then go back to 181. One thing that again, I should have said this in the beginning of the video, so I don't have to say it over and over. I do think that the market is showing signs of weakness, at least for now. That's what I think is happening. There is a little bit of weakness, especially in the Nasdaq, and we'll see what is the next behavior of especially Nasdaq in the next few days. But I see weakness. I have actually 3 put positions right now, but I wouldn't be surprised and you break this resistance level at 175 and continue going down towards this yellow line, which is a 200 SMA, fill this gap as well. If you actually retest this, well, maybe you can actually argue that you can go to 181 or meet resistance on the 35 SMA. So Amazon is a little bit trapped right here. I would, for the most part, a risk-off trader, so I wouldn't touch it. That is just my opinion, but what I see is a little bit of a tendency to the downside. You're probably there's a very little liquidity here as well, so I wouldn't be surprised if we go down to 167. If you are a trader that is a little more risk-on type of trader, there might be an opportunity here if you actually see the setup that you like. Anyways, that's what I have for Bank of America, and I'm sorry, for Amazon. And let's go to Bank of America. So this sector is really it's not doing bad, all things considered. I think last week I mentioned Bank of America, and what I was saying is that you were probably gonna retest this level right here and then continue going up. I had a long position. I had some calls on Bank of America that I bought right on this area, and take a look at the MACD and the TSI when I bought those calls. It was either in this candle right here when it was about to break resistance, or in this candle right on top of what at that point was support. Anyways, I got out on this candle right here, and then my assumption was that there was gonna be, or actually I got out in one of these candles. Yeah, I got out in this candle, or maybe on this green candle on Thursday. But anyways, my assumption was that there was gonna be a retest and then a continuation towards 40. That's what it actually happened. And now you're finding resistance at 40, and you also have the 35 SMA at the same level. We'll see what happens. The MACD and the TSI are looking good, so I'm okay with how this name is looking. Another thing that I always mention on Bank of America and this type of names is that they move slow. And so if you're not very patient and you like volatile moves and that sort of stuff, then maybe this name is not for you. That's what I have for Bank of America. And let's do a little check on CAVA. So CAVA had a pretty nice move after earnings, and it was up almost 20%. Today it was up 3%. Let's go to the 5-minute chart and take a look at. Yeah, it just continued going up, which, you know, in my opinion, this is shaping into an opportunity for to buy puts. I'm not sure if I want to do it just now or if I'm going to wait a few more days, which probably that is what I'm going to do. But wait a second. It is actually down 7% after hours. That's actually significant. And let me take a look. Yeah, I do have notes actually on CAVA. So what it looks like is that there were some insider sales, and there were reports of significant insider sales. That is including the CEO. So that is that could be alarming for investors, especially if the CEO is taking advantage of the price action and selling. And so yeah, I think that is prompting sales. And then there is a mention of Form 144 filings, which indicates that were proposals of actual sales of restricted or controlled securities. Okay, so that is probably why CAVA is actually down 7%. So there might be an opportunity here tomorrow. Let's go to the 4-hour chart and take a look at how this is looking. Yeah. Oh boy. Yeah, it's at 116 right now. That is pretty interesting. And at least on the 4-hour chart with extended hours is looking very promising for a short position. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I mean, I do think that there is going to be some weakness still happening, at least for this week or maybe next, who knows. But that is what I'm thinking that we're gonna face in the next 7 to 15 days, 2 weeks. You're still kind of far away from this gap, so there might be an opportunity here. Let's go back to the 1 day. So, well, that's what is going on with CAVA. You had sales from insiders and filings for Form 144, which actually indicates sales of restricted or controlled securities. So that's what is going on with CAVA. Okay. Anyways, there might be an opportunity here to the downside. What else do I have? Let's go to... I gotta reposition the microphone. Let's go to CI. And this is Cigna. And I never mentioned this name on my videos, and the reason is because it's pretty new in my list. But I was looking at this over the weekend, and it looks like it's trying to test this resistance level at 354. Yeah, 354.4 for the second time. We'll see if it fails again. You also have this trend line that was broken before at the end of July, and then it completely failed on earnings, and then it's trying to come back, kind of like the same behavior. This is kind of like a copy and paste situation here. We'll see if we go down or up. I do believe that if it actually there is a rejection here tomorrow, there might be an opportunity to the downside. Not sure what is the price of options here, but there is definitely an opportunity here. Anyways, that's what I have for CI. And now let's take a look at CLOV. And this is an interesting chart. I've been mentioned, I even, which I never done, made a whole video about CLOV last week. And today it had a pretty, let's go to a 5-minute, interesting move. So it totally tanked in the morning within the first 30 minutes of trading, and then it recovered. It went all the way back up to almost being flat. It was negative 0.30%. And then you can see the result of this on this candle. Now, you can see the damage done on the week. and then the recovery. So you can tell that there were sellers really trying to push the price, and then bulls came back, bought everything back to the level where we are right now, which is at $3.33 per share. This is interesting. I do believe, and I want to keep saying, it would be nice to see smaller candles going down towards 275. So you have these indicators cooling down a little bit, and then you can see a continuation to the upside. I mean, this is definitely a game of buyers and sellers really pushing hard. I wonder how much retail is getting involved. The volume is still high. There's not a considerable, I guess, decrease in volume. So this is interesting. I'm intrigued with this name. Again, I would like to see this going down to 275 and then bouncing back. That would be super healthy. I think if this continues to go up, right now it's at 333. But your next resistance, I'm putting at 354. Let's see why I'm using. Oh, wow. I'm using this resistance level because it's pretty old. anyways, so I think if you break this resistance level, you can probably continue squeezing, but I don't like to see this type of parabolic moves because eventually it's just going to come down as fast as it went up. Let's wait, or let's hope for the stock to go down to 275 and see if we have a slower, consistent move to the upside. Interesting for CLOV. It is intriguing. I don't have a position and I'm not planning to have one. I still think it's a little risky and I don't like how the chart looks. But if this is for you, just be careful. Let's move on to Disney. And I mentioned Disney. When did I mention Disney? I actually mentioned Disney yesterday on Sunday's video. And what I was saying is that I like the setup. What I said yesterday was like, let's hope for a little range here, but it looks like it's starting to move. 1.35 to the upside today is meeting the 35 SMA. We'll see if there is a continuation. Not my favorite setup, to be honest, on these indicators, but I really like the fact that it's a little bit consolidated here, and now it's starting to move slowly. I kind of like that, to be honest. We'll see what we get from Disney. I wouldn't be surprised if we continue towards 96. We'll see. I think I'm going to give it some time. The fact that I'm mentioning this consistently is because I'm starting to like the setup. Even though these indicators are not what I like to see, but what I'm seeing on the candles and other technicals, I like. Kind of similar to what I was saying with Nike a couple of weeks back. I wasn't too happy with what I was seeing down here with the TSI and the MACD, but the setup itself was really good, and Nike actually did pretty well. It's slowing down now, but I do believe that there is opportunity in Disney, just like there was opportunity in Nike. I took those calls on Nike, and they actually worked out pretty well. Take a look at the chart and see how it has behaved in the last 2 to 3 weeks. Anyways, let's move to this other name. Where is the L? Okay. To LUMN. And let me take a note really fast. LUMN looks interesting as well. It's pretty extended in my opinion. MACD is losing momentum. The TSI is already showing lack of strength. RSI is pointing down. It's completely cooling down. Today was down only 1.77%. Volume is decreasing. You can see it right here. Let's put a little trend line, a momentary one. We don't need one. But volume is definitely decreasing. And so we'll see. I think is still intriguing. It's in my this name is in my focus list since last week. I still want to see it drop a little bit more, and I might take or buy some puts on this name. There is a very low liquidity in this area right here. I don't know. Let's see how. Oh, I don't like this. It's not very I don't like this type of candles, but there might be an opportunity. And the problem with that is that sometimes your options can go all over the place. Anyways, I like the fact that volume is decreasing, and I like the fact that the strength of the stock is fading away. I do believe that there is an opportunity to the downside. Probably I would assess at 4.6 and then make other decisions when you get to that level. But definitely an opportunity on this name. I think it's very extended, and if volume continues to decrease, you're definitely going to have a pretty good opportunity to the downside. That's what I have for LUMN. And let's go back to, or let's go to Meta. I mentioned Meta on, sorry, let me take a note really quick. I mentioned Meta on the 22nd. Not sure when the 22nd was, but that was definitely last week. The 22nd was, I think it was Thursday. I can actually see it here. Yeah, on Thursday. And what I was saying on Meta was that you are probably, if you break this level, you're probably going to go down towards this resistance level at around 500, which is right where the 35 SMA is. This is another reason why I also think the market is a little bit losing a little bit of momentum, which is fine. I would like to see a little bit more of this, so the continuation to the upside is kind of like slower. It's not as volatile as this. So I like to see this. I would like to see this continue going down towards 500, and there's definitely going to be opportunity maybe next week with names like this. So this is what I have for Meta. We are under this support level at 523. You're possibly going to go down towards 500, which is where the 35 SMA is. If you rebound, well, we'll see. You can assess that at that point. You're going to hit all-time highs again. Okay, so I do believe that there is a good chance that this is going to continue to decrease. The MACD and the TSI are also looking a little bit weak, and the RSI is already on its way down. That's what I have for Meta. And now let's take a look at Microsoft. And Microsoft is also showing weakness, as we just showed you on with Meta. So now you're under the support level, which was 415. You're probably going to meet the 200 EMA tomorrow if we continue going down, and which that level is 398. And we'll see if you break that. And I'm not sure if you're gonna, I'm sorry, it wouldn't be 398. It would be 409, 200 SMA. But then if you break this level right here, you're probably gonna go to 398, which in my opinion, if you get to that point, it's unlikely, but if you get to this point, there's definitely opportunities here to buy to the upside. MACD and RSI are looking weak. They still under the zero line, but you're seeing a pretty nice, I guess, downtrend, and for now towards the 200 SMA. RSI is not also pointing down right on the signal line. So yeah, I do think again we might see more weakness in the upcoming days on the market. Let's take a look at NEE, and that's Next Era Energy. And I post this on X. It was back right, I believe, on this candle right here. So it was last Friday, the 16th. No, that was 10 days ago, so it wasn't last Friday. But look at this, it's moving very nice. I really like this setup because it was pretty obvious. Even though when I see this type of behavior on the MACD, on the TSI, and the fact that they are far from the zero line. Normally, I don't like to take these trades, but this was pretty obvious. And look how it's moving. It's moving very nicely. I again mentioned this. I believe. Let's take a look when I actually. This is one in one of my. This one is in one of my videos, and this is from the 19th. So I mentioned this on Monday the 19th, right on this candle, and I posted something right here on Friday or over the weekend. Yeah, so we are right here. I think this was a nice move. If you're a swing trader and you took some calls, you probably did pretty well. This was a nice setup. It was kind of obvious in my opinion, and we'll see what is coming next. I don't know exactly what is going to happen, if this is going to continue going up or not, but the setup is working. And if you are in this position, then keep a close eye for any move to the downside, or if this continues to run, then keep your calls. Anyways, that's what I have for NEE. And next, let's take a look, since we were talking about weakness, especially in the NASDAQ. Let's take a look at NQ. It's showing weakness, definitely. It's riding that 35 SMA. It's right under resistance at 19,600. And MACD and TSI are also not looking too good. The histogram is also telling you story. So I do believe that we, again, I'm going to say this again, we're probably going to encounter some weakness in the upcoming days. Don't be surprised if you see that, but there is probably going to be some good opportunities after this trend changes to the opposite direction, meaning going up. I do believe that if NVIDIA misses on earnings, I do believe that we are probably going to see an overreaction on a lot of names, and there might be some opportunities right after that. So I'm just being patient, and I'm just going to take, I guess, some time before I get into any long positions. But yeah, that's what I have for NQ. Just be careful in what is going on in the market. Just keep an eye on a lot of different names, and that's going to tell you a story on what is going on. NVIDIA, by the way, was minus 2.25% down. Okay, let's go to this, the last name that I'm going to check today, and that is Palantir. I like Palantir. I like what I'm seeing, and it's not because it's going down. I like Palantir because I would love to see it go to 29.20 or 29.30, whatever, and then continue to go up. Definitely a company that I like. The MACD and the TSI are looking weak, but I do believe that there's probably going to be a continuation to the downside. Would be optimal if you get to 29.30 and then bounce back up, either towards this resistance or then you break it. Not sure if we can right now really guess if we are going to go all the way down to 27. I think that's very premature, but you're going to get to this level possibly at 29.30 and meet the 35 SMA probably at the same place. So we'll see what we get tomorrow. I think that that red trend is going to continue maybe tomorrow, and we'll see what happens on Wednesday afternoon again with NVIDIA. It feels like a lot of people are really waiting for what they say and what the tech sector is doing. It's kind of funny that the market is so dependent on one name, but it is what it is. Again, I like Palantir to the upside, but I want to see this continue going down for a little bit just to get opportunities to get back in. There is definitely a lot of opportunity right now. The only thing that I suggest is just be patient. Don't be jumping into names. I wouldn't be trading into earnings for NVIDIA. I was actually thinking about it, but then after what I've been seeing today, I just I prefer just being on the sidelines and have some puts. I just have some risky puts that I think are going to work out. But anyways, other than that, I do believe that patience is going to be key this week. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.